Our next guest was named a Publishers Weekly Flying Start author for fall 2011. Her debut novel, The Girl of Fire and Thorns, was named to ALA's top 10 best fiction list for young adults for 2012. The sequel, The Crown of Embers, will be released later this month. She lives in Ohio with her husband, author Charles Coleman Finley. Let's have a warm Tuesday funk welcome for Rae Carson.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Sarah and Bill, for having me. This is super fun. I have a book coming out in 2 weeks. I'm supposed to be showing for that. I've been doing a lot of promo, and so tonight I just decided to not. Fuck that. So I'm gonna read from a secret project that nobody knows about. Not my editor, not my husband. It's a post-apocalyptic young adult novel, which is totally unmarketable at this time. It's about Paige Miller, a senior in high school. She's 17 years old. She's a basketball star, probably on her way to the WNBA. And she's about to wake up from being sick and discover that the fan has been hit by all the shit ever. It's called Kick-Ass One-Word Title. It's a working title. That would for sure make it unmarketable in a way. March 13. I wake in my bedroom to a monstrous headache and a mouth so dry that I choke. The ceiling fan above my head is still. A single fly buzzes around the wooden blades. Coughing hurts, but I let myself do it until it feels like my tongue will stay unstuck from the roof of my mouth. I swing my legs over the bed and set them on the floor, blinking to clear eyes that are as arid and hollow as skeleton sockets. I try to stand, but something yanks sharply at the back of my hand. It's an IV. The entry site is swollen, bloodless, and aching, like a giant hive. The clear IV line stretches up to a 1,000-milliliter bag hanging from a pole. The bag is wrinkled like a raisin, empty of fluid. I don't remember getting an IV. The world is confusing, too bright and hot, silent except for that stupid fly. I peer toward my alarm clock, which is a small plastic basketball with a wedge cut out for the digital insert. It's hard to focus, but through sheer force of will, I do it. 4:17 p.m., which doesn't make sense at first, but then it does. I remember now, I went to bed right after dinner, which means I've been asleep almost 24 hours. My throat had been hurting all day. Something about my depth perception was off. At practice, I missed 2 bounce passes and an alley-oop assist from Chantel. The ball sailed right by me and I just watched, feeling detached, unable to understand what I was supposed to do. And later, at the dinner table with Mom and Paul and Ryan, my whole body started to ache, and I knew with a sinking feeling that I was getting that flu, the one that had put half the city of Columbus out of commission. It wasn't fair. I'm young and healthy, completely up to date on my flu shots. I don't have time to be sick. Mom must have hooked up the IV. It's not unprecedented. She's an experienced nurse. She did it for me once before after a grueling practice made my legs cramp with dehydration. But I don't know why she let the bag go dry. Mom, I call out, in a voice so hoarse I hardly recognize it as my own. When no answer is forthcoming, I remember that she's probably at work. I roll my shoulders, trying to get movement and circulation back. Lactic acid burns in my muscles and I can barely turn my head. I must have dropped off to sleep in one position and not budged the whole time. A hot shower will help. If I'm quick, there's still time to make the last hour of practice. Shower. Thinking of water makes my stomach clench. I try to swallow and discover that I can't. Suddenly I'm craving water more than I've craved anything in my life. Cool, clear water, gallons of water. I rip off the medical tape and yank out the needle. I almost pass out from the pain, or maybe from the sight of yellow pus oozing out of the wound. I lurch to my feet and stumble toward my bathroom. I misjudge the doorway and bash my forehead against the jamb, but I don't care. Oh God, water. I fumble blindly for the faucet, twist the knob. The sound of water flowing makes me crazy. I knock my skull against the spout in my haste to get underneath it, and I gulp like a wild dog. It slides down my throat, a waterfall of wonder, sweeter than honey, more filling than Mom's shepherd's pie. More filling, too filling. My stomach squeezes like a vice, and I don't even have time for a breath before I vomit all that glorious water back into the sink. It whirls down the drain, tinged with greenish bile, but not much else. Something about that strikes me as strange. I'm still so thirsty I could die of it, but I have to be smarter. I grab my rinse cup, place it under the faucet. It takes all my control to watch it fill up, to bring it slowly to my lips, to take only tiny sips. My stomach heaves again, but this time the water stays down. I pull the cup away from my face and breathe, in for 4, out for 4. I take another sip, breathe, another sip. It's agonizing. Eventually, I set the empty cup down, wanting more, but knowing full well by the way the water sloshes around in my stomach that I need to give my body time to adjust. Later, Paige, you can have more later. I reach into the shower and turn on the hot water. While it heats up, I glance at myself in the mirror. I almost scream. The face staring back is that of a stranger with sunken cheeks and corpse-like skin and blue eyes that are way too huge and bright. My lips are split and peeling, my chin scaled with flakes of dry skin. Something brownish-yellow crosses the edge of my right ear. Strands of hair are stuck dried to it. And God, my hair is a mess, matted, oily, unrecognizable in any way as blonde. Half of it is plastered into a towering wall. Must have been the side I slept on. My stomach clenches again, not from the onslaught of water to a dehydrated body, but with wrongness. I know I've been sick, but this is off. A hot shower always clears my head. I reach in to test the water and jerk my hand back in surprise. Still cold, ice cold. Ryan, I yell, exasperated. My little brother is 13, exactly the age when boys start to take embarrassingly long showers. You used all the hot water again. I wait for the response, but get nothing. He usually thumps the wall. We kind of have this code worked out between us. Ever since he was 5 and I was 9, when Dad left us and Ryan started having night terrors. He used to thump the wall when he was scared, and I would thump right back to let him know that my ear was next to his, that he was safe. 2 thumps from Ryan meant I had to get over to his bedroom right away because it meant he was too scared to deal. We're past that now, but we've never stopped thumping, just to let one another know, I hear you, I'm here. I rap the wall with a knuckle. Still no answer. I have 2 choices. Wait for the water to heat up again and miss practice, or grin and bear it. And since the state tournament is next week, of course I'll grin and bear it. I shuck my clothes, khaki pants, underwear, black tank top, and sports bra. Everything reeks. I must have sweated out a fever while I slept. Taking a deep breath, I plunge into the shower stall. I squeal as the cold sends shockwaves through my body. I grab the shampoo and start working it through my hair, shivering the whole time. The water isn't the usual cold, it's more like alpine snowmelt cold. Or maybe my dehydrated body is imagining things. Still, it feels good. I can almost hear my skin slurping it up. I lather everywhere and rinse, paying special attention to the IV site. It's obviously infected. I'll ask Mom to take a look at it when she gets home, see if I need an antibiotic. I don't often use conditioner in my hair, but the knots are so bad that I have to. I spend a minute finger combing. Strands of hair drop to the tile and whirl away into the drain. The more I comb, the more hair comes out, and more and more. No time to worry, have to dry off and get to practice. Coach will make me shoot extra 3s tonight for being late, but I don't mind. My shooting has been weak from outside the arc this year, and I hate being weak. Back in my bedroom, I start to squeeze into a clean sports bra, but when I brush my left breast with the back of my hand, I gasp, flinching away from myself. It felt like touching a stranger. The skin against my hand was cold and limp, like a deflated ball. Carefully, slowly, I take my trembling hands and run them over my deflated breasts, my stomach, around my thighs to my butt. Without the ice-cold water and soap providing a distraction, the difference is obvious. I'm thinner. Too thin. A wisp of a girl. I must have lost 10 pounds or more in the last 24 hours. Mom, I whimper. Panic edges into my chest and my legs twitch as if to take flight. Calm down, Paige, I tell myself. You're a warrior. You can handle anything. I plunk down onto my bed and stare at nothing, the wrongness too heavy in my head to ignore any longer. In my peripheral vision, the red digits of my basketball alarm clock stare back. I turn my head to take them in fully, just looking for something familiar and bright and solid. And I notice it, the thing I didn't see when I first woke up. Beneath the timestamp, in much smaller letters, is the date, March 13. I've been asleep for 5 days. Suddenly I'm noticing other things too. The stale urine rink coming from my sheets, my ceiling fan, which is always on, perfectly still in the space above me. And beyond the buzz of that stupid fly, barely noticeable but steady as falling water, is the sound of birds. I stumble over to my bedroom window and push aside my lavender curtains for a better view. It's a beautiful sunny day, the colors crisp in the way only early spring can be. The street is empty of people, but birds are everywhere. Crows mostly, some ravens, a few buzzards, hopping around on our front lawn, perched on top of cars, lining the gutters of rooftops. The wrongness in my belly blossoms into full-blown dread. A bird crashes against the window and I jerk back. It drops away as quickly as it came, leaving a brownish smear on the glass. Did it fall? It can't have survived. I start forward thinking I'll look for it on the ground, but then I realize I'm standing in front of my window completely naked. I shudder, totally creeped out now by my own weird responses as much as anything. It's like my mind is swimming through sludge. I need to talk to someone or even just hug my mom. I grab my robe from the peg outside my bathroom and put it on, trying to ignore the burn in my deltoids. Then I throw open my bedroom door and rush into the hallway. Mom? Paul? No, it's too early for Mom or my stepdad to be home from work. I open my mouth to call out again anyway when I notice the smell. It's awful, sweet like fruit gone bad. No, it's gamey like warm spoiled milk. And with a start, I know exactly what it is. It's the same smell that filled our house when a rat got lodged under the washing machine and died. A whimper bleeds from my lips. Ryan, I have to find my brother. I run just 2 steps, but my weak knees can't take it and I buckle to the ground. I drag myself along the hardwood floor, my knees getting caught in my robe, my heart a drum in my temples. When I reach my brother's door, I use the doorknob to pull myself to my feet. I knock. Ryan, it's Paige. I stare at his keep out sign and the hazard waste symbol beneath it. Right, guy? And then I can't take it anymore. I have to see him. Family privacy pact be damned, and I swing open the door. Screeching, flapping, black wings, yellow eyes, insects buzzing, a gust of ice-cold air everywhere, that overwhelming sick, sweet scent. The window is open. No, broken. Its jagged edges slick with blood and feathers. Denim curtains sway in the breeze. It takes a moment for my rebelling mind to put it all together, but it does, inexorably, reluctantly, and I fall to my knees all over again. I manage to look up toward Ryan's bed, and I see a small, pale hand flung over the edge of the mattress. The pinky finger is a bloodless, shredded stump. I crab crawl backward as fast as I can until I hit the wall, and then I crash into it again and again, scrambling to get away until by chance I find open air and tumble back into the hallway. I hook the door with my foot and slam it closed. I'm shaking everywhere and I can't stop. I can't even think. I just grab my knees to my chest and rock back and forth, whimpering like an injured puppy, because the crows are eating my dead brother.